new developments in the investigation of those hacked Democratic National Committee emails.
NBC's Stephanie Gosk is here with the latest on this. Hi, Steph. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, guys. Well, now multiple senior government officials tell NBC News they are now confident Russian intelligence was behind the DNC hack. Although they lack definitive proof, the incident is raising new questions about the security of our country's overall electoral system. Could voting booths or voting tallies themselves be vulnerable? The security firm hired to investigate the hack of DNC emails says it detected 2 breaches of the system. Senior government officials now say they're confident Russian intelligence agencies were behind both. The email scandal upended the Democratic Party, exposing officials' apparent efforts to get Hillary Clinton elected during the primary, even though they were supposed to remain impartial. But beyond the political damage that included the resignation of the head of the party, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, there is another concern. Is the U.S. doing enough to protect the country's electoral system in general? If Russian intelligence is trying to tip the scales of this election, where else might they look?
I believe we are vulnerable in the entire electoral process. So long as someone is not paying very close attention, you could essentially rig the system.
Voting systems are controlled state by state and don't fall under the umbrella of the Department of Homeland Security. Typically, voting machines are not connected to the internet. But current and former security officials tell NBC News that any part of the electoral process handled online is potentially vulnerable. That can happen when it's time to count the votes.
It's where all of those votes come together for a final tally. If they're put into a computer, those computers can be hacked.
We reached out to election officials in multiple states. The state of New York says its voting machines are by law not connected to the internet. And the state has some of the most stringent testing protocols in the nation. Voting machines in California are also not connected online. And an election official says the state has extensive certification and testing that goes beyond the federal standards. As for the DNC emails, what no one knows is how the information made its way to WikiLeaks. In an interview with NBC's Richard Engel earlier this week, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange was not giving up his sources.
The real story is what these emails contain, and they show collusion at the very top of the Democratic Party.
With government officials now increasingly convinced of Russia's role in the hack, the next big question is what to do about it. There is a debate over how to respond amid these concerns that the entire electoral system may now appear vulnerable to outside manipulation. Meanwhile, the response from the Russian government remains the same. We had nothing to do with it.
Pretty scary thought.
It really is.
It certainly is, yeah.
Stephanie, thank you very much.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.